Hello, I have another Geronimo Stilton book that I'm going to read. This one is called Back in Time, The Second Journey Through Time. I read the whole book on the first journey and that was great, but this one is probably going to be a little bit better. So let's get started on that. Geronimo Stilton, Back in Time, The Second Journey Through Time. A night just like any other, or was it? It started out as a regular night, just like any other. It was a cold Friday in autumn, and I had stayed late at the office. I'm a very busy mouse. Oops, I'm sorry. I haven't introduced myself. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. I run the Rodents Gazette, the most famous newspaper on Mouse Island. As I was saying, I got home very late that night, around midnight. I was too tired to squeak. I couldn't wait to go to bed. But first, I put on my pajamas and flopped in an armchair in front of the fireplace to relax with some chocolate cheesy chews. Just then, a 10,000 megawatt alarm pierced my ears. Holy cheese! I'd know that sound anywhere. It was the alarm that Professor Von Volt had installed in my house. It only rang when he needed my help right away. My whiskers trembled. What could be wrong? I jumped to my paws, but as I did, I hit my head on the shelf. I was completely dazed. As I stumbled around, I walked into a lamp. Boom! Snout first. Then I slipped on a chocolatey cheesy chew, fell backwards near the fireplace and scorched my tail. Rats! I jumped up again and yelled, "Ah!" I was so panicked that I banged into a little table and knocked over my beloved red fish, Hannibal's fish bowl. I scooped him up and ran to the bathroom to refill the fish bowl with water. Thankfully, poor Hannibal was okay. Whew. Once I had a moment to catch my breath, I remembered something. This had all started with Professor Von Volt's alarm. He needed my help. I looked out the window and saw an extremely long camper driving down the road. It sparkled like a mirror. Huh? Thundering cattails! That camper was Professor Von Volt's secret laboratory. I changed out of my pajamas in 2 shakes of a mouse's tail and headed outside to find the professor. Have you met Professor Von Volt before? In case you haven't, let me tell you. The professor is the smartest mouse I know. I first met him a long time ago. In fact, he was the one who took me on my very first journey through time. Professor Von Volt carries out his experiments in secret locations so that no other mice can spy on him. His inventions must remain top secret. That's why no one ever knows where he is. The professor once told me that I'm the only one he trusts because I am a true gentle mouse. The professor works in a laboratory inside a large camper that sparkles like a mirror. He travels around and never stays in one place for too long. I'll give you a sneak peek into his laboratory, but shh, it's a super secret. Don't tell anyone. I ran up behind the camper and yelled, "Professor Von Volt, it's me, Geronimo Stilton. Stop!" The camper screeched to a halt and I took a closer look at the outside. The body looked like a mirror. The fenders looked like mirrors. The hubcaps looked like mirrors. The lights looked like mirrors. Even the windows looked like mirrors. It was impossible to tell what was inside, even though I knew. A rolling shutter lifted on the back of the camper, and a metallic voice crackled, "Come in." I stepped inside, and the camper immediately took off down the street. Ooh, just in time. The automatic door shut behind me with a quiet hissing sound. I was standing in front of a mysterious object covered with a black cloth. Cheese niblets? What could this be? Before I could investigate, a 10,000-watt light blinded me. A video camera popped up, recording my every move. A metallic voice crackled, "Stay still, please." I whirled around. Shocked, the voice repeated, "I said staying still, please." Then it added, "Whisker extraction for identification." Before I knew what was happening, a pair of tweezers had swooped out of the nowhere and yanked one of my whiskers. "Ouch!" I squeaked. A microscope began to examine my whisker. A moment later, my snout appeared up on the screen. The crackling voice said, "Whisker identified. It belongs to a rodent by the name of Stilton, Geronimo Stilton." I sighed and corrected it. "My name is Geronimo Stilton. Stilton." Just then, a door burst open, and a snout that I knew appeared. "Professor Von Volt!" I squeaked happily. It was wonderful to see my old friend. He gave me a big hug.
"Geronimo Stilton, what can I do for you?"
Moldy mozzarella? What did he mean? "But, Professor, you're the one who called me with your alarm," I said. The professor scratched his whiskers.
"Oh yes, now I remember. I had to tell you something important. But what was it?"
Then he smacked his forehead with his paw.
"Oh, putrid cheese puffs, it's midnight. I didn't realize it was so late. I'm sorry, Geronimo. I am such a distracted mouse."
I smiled. "It doesn't matter that it's late. You can call me any time, day or night."
"Do you remember our first journey through time?"
the professor asked me. I couldn't help sighing happily. I may have even gotten a little misty-eyed. I'm a very sentimental mouse. "How could I forget the most amazing and fascinating experience of my life, Professor?" He patted my paw.
"Stay calm, Geronimo. I have a surprise for you. This is my brand new invention,"
the professor announced.
"I call it the Rodent Relocator."
My jaw hung open, and my whiskers trembled with excitement. Before me was a big spherical machine with a shiny surface. I could hardly speak. Volt smiled at my reaction.
"It's my new time-traveling machine. It is much, much, much more advanced than the Mouse Mover 3000, which we used on our last adventure. Now, let me explain how it works. But when I am done, remind me that I have to tell you something else that is very, very important. I'm very easily distracted after all."
Professor Von Volt whispered,
"That's not all. I've invented something else incredible."
Intrigued, I asked, "What?"
"It's called the Micro Mouse,"
he said in a hushed voice. "Micro mouse?" I repeated. "Professor, why are you whispering?" He looked around nervously.
"I know it seems silly, Geronimo, but I'm always afraid that someone is spying on me. There are many dishonest rodents out there. They could be interested in my inventions, so I have to be very careful."
With that, the professor opened his safe and pulled out a strange object. He strapped it on his wrist, satisfied.
"Let me introduce you to the micro mouse, a very powerful and very small and lightweight computer. It's so small that a mouse can wear it on his wrist. There's only one, and it's for you to wear, Geronimo.
Rat-munching rattlesnakes. Did he mean that what I thought he meant? But before I could speak, the professor went on.
It provides information about historic time periods and allows you to surf the web, take pictures, and record video. It works as a cell phone, a television, and a satellite navigation system, so you can orient yourself in the past. It runs on solar and wind energy, so it's even good for the environment. If you push a special button, it also becomes invisible. Here's how it works.
Finally, I was able to get a squeak in. So, are we leaving for a new journey through time, Professor? I asked, my tail twitching with excitement. Where will we go this time? He raised his eyebrow.
It's not where we are going, Geronimo, but where you are going. This time you will travel alone. I am an adventurous mouse at heart, but I am too old to handle the heat of the jungle, climb any ancient walls, and taste the strange foods of faraway lands.
Rancid ricotta. I had to go alone? The professor must have sensed my panic because he smiled.
It will be just like I'm there too, he said. Now, here's where I'm sending you, he announced. First, you will go to ancient Rome in 45 BCE.
My snout lit up. Ancient Rome? That sounds fabulous.
Volt continued. Then you'll visit the Mayan civilization in 1005 CE.
I was so excited I could barely speak. I've always dreamed of uncovering the secrets of the Maya people. I can't wait.
The professor chuckled. Patience, Geronimo. I haven't even told you about your final stop. Versailles, France, in 1682 CE. The age of King Louis XIV, the Sun King.
I did a happy dance on the spot. That's one of the most fascinating historical periods of all time, I cried. Suddenly, Volt turned serious.
Geronimo, it will be a wonderful journey, and I hope it will give you material to write a really mouse-terrific new book. But there is always a small possibility that you will get lost in time and be stuck in the past forever. Are you still up to it?
My fur stood on end. I thought it was over. The most important thing I had learned from my adventures was that it's nice to dream, but it's better to live in your dreams, even if it takes courage. It also often takes the help of friends and family. Plus, adventures are more fabulous when shared with others. So I nodded firmly. Professor, I accept. But on one condition. Can I bring my family with me?
Of course, the professor agreed.
I thought back on my first journey through time. We're going to continue this next time. I love this series. I hope you do too.
See you then. Goodbye.